I'm a moral person because this is a barbaric treatment, and because sometimes you have to, let's say, this is not my personal case only. As I told you, I'm also a foreign minister. But sometimes you have to involve yourself in what you believe in, even as a foreign minister, and more if you are a foreign minister sometimes.
Carla Bruni has spoken out in Sakineh's defence, which has infuriated editors of a leading Iranian newspaper who branded the French First Lady a prostitute who deserves to die, they said. What is your official response to that rhetoric?
It was so sad to read that. It was so ridiculous for them. It was a sort of sentence to stupidity.
What do you know of any reports of potential involvement from the Pope in this case?
Yes, very good. Very good. All the Christian world and the Vatican, we are, sorry to say, madame, but who is protesting? Who is in favor of this sentence? Who is in favor of stoning this lady to death? Adultère or not? I mean, it's impossible to accept. That's very true. You know that last week we have heard that the Taliban in Afghanistan did the same. They stoned to death a lady. This is impossible to accept. And we are fighting in Afghanistan for democratic reason and to change the perspective of the Afghan people. And in acting like we are, in protesting against this sentence, we are on the Iranian people's side.
What kind of pressure, sir, has France been able to put on Tehran over this case?
You know, the political world opinion, all, I believe, quite all, close to all the governments of the world, and the public opinion. Did you see some papers? Did you read? Did you see some show in favor of this sentence? We are offering to our Iranian friends, certainly more the Green Movement than the government, I know, we are offering them to change the relationship in between them and us and them.
In what way, sir?
In what way? In the human rights way, in the humanitarian way, in believing that the Shiism, which I know very well, is not that sort of, let's say, behavior. Not at all.
I'm wondering about what sort of concrete options you have, though, sir, at this point. With sanctions already in place, does the world have any other leverage over Tehran at this point?
I want to separate this political sanction and economical sanction we are working on, not only with the UN resolution, remember that, but also in Europe. And of course, this is economic sanction because of nuclear problem. I don't want to mix up the nuclear problem and this barbaric treatment, not at all. We have a political fight and we have, madame, a real human fight, sorry.
Are you concerned that Tehran might mix the two, though?
Yes. We have to understand that in the same time, there are very different problems, and also there is a common problem of having good contact with the Iranian people, trying to understand their views, but to one very simple point: no barbaric treatment.
Let me ask you this question. We have seen protests in London, in Berlin, in Stockholm, as well as across French cities. Protesters protesting the treatment of Ashtiani. There are those who are concerned that keeping her story in the international media spotlight will hurt her cause rather than help it. What do you say to people who have those concerns?
They are more or less right, I know. Sakineh Ashtiani is a symbolic case, but other cases around the world deserve to be treated and to support also a pressure coming from the public opinion, I know. But for the time being, Madame, we are talking about Sakineh. And I don't know for the fate of Sakineh, but we are all in charge of Sakineh's fate.